The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
At that time, the apostles returned to Jesus and told him all they had done and taught. And he said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a lonely place and rest a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in the boat to a lonely place by themselves. Now, many saw them going and knew them, and they ran there on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. And as he landed, he saw a great throng, and he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
So, my dear brothers and sisters, kamu sasa inyo balay? Mayoman. Very good. I'm also Mayoman. For today's liturgy, having reflected on all the readings, I decided to choose this theme as embracing a call to be a good shepherd or a good leader, as we may say. And usually when I think of a shepherd, the first thing that comes in my mind, I usually think of back home. I think of Uganda, where I come from. There is a certain tribe in the northeastern part of Uganda. They have very special kind of attachment to cattle. They are pastoralists as their main source of living, like they are shepherds, as we can say. And usually when a child is sent to graze the cattle, in case maybe one sheep or a kandeng gets lost, that child is supposed to gather this and ensure that he looks for the other ones who are lost before going back home. And if at all he fails to get, at least the child should be able to establish what has happened to the kandeng or to the sheep. But he ensures, the main point is that he ensures that he gathers. And a shepherd usually has to do with gathering. A shepherd has to gather. A shepherd has to care, has to bring people together, but not to scatter people. And also it's the work of a leader to bring people together, to unite, and not to scatter. From our first reading, we see from the book of prophet Jeremiah. And God is telling the people of Israel that woe to those who scatter the sheep. And he promises to bring a shepherd who will unite the people. At the time of Jeremiah, what we need to note is that Jeremiah came around, like we say, seven, 600 years before the coming of Jesus Christ. And as he came to serve the people as a prophet, there used to be this King Josiah. When King Josiah died, his son took over. And the son, when the son took over, he was so much concerned with personal gain. He was so much concerned with personal interest. He was so much concerned there was a lot of corruption and so on. And therefore, he ignored the interests of the people at that time. And when he ignored the interests of the people, usually when that happens, the people rebel. And at times, the outcome is not good. And so the Lord promises to bring someone who will unite. And this comes in the name of a person of Jesus Christ. And in our second reading, we see Jesus bringing unity, bringing reconciliation between the Jews and the Gentiles. At the time of Jesus, Gentiles were considered as pagans. But as Christ came in, everybody becomes brother and sister in Christ. There is no more barrier, no what, and so on. And in our gospel, we see Jesus reflecting the sign of a good shepherd, a compassionate shepherd, a shepherd who is considerate. When his disciples came back from mission, he was concerned. He saw that they were tired and they needed rest, and therefore requested them to go and take their rest. My dear brothers and sisters, it is a very, very important and significant thing that we can learn from Jesus, that we can also be considerate to one another, that we can also learn to consider that, well, how my friend is tired, maybe for couple. I can't talk of much about Philippines, but let me give you an example of Africa. I've not lived in Philippines for long. Usually when you find very, very traditional patriarchal men, some may think that a woman is to do everything. Some they may think in that way, which is not true, like no, those who are not exposed. And therefore, do this, do that, do this, do that. And the man is resting. My God, not even considerate of the wife and so on, doing that she can also be tired. The invitation for us here is to be considerate that my friend, your friend can be tired and therefore need a rest as well. The second thing, Jesus is so compassionate that even when they were tired, when the people followed them, he still had compassion on them and had to teach them. Brothers and sisters, an invitation to you and I today is to be people, to be leaders who are compassionate, to be leaders, to be shepherds who are able to unite, to be shepherds or to be leaders who are able to stay away from those who scatter. And lastly, to find time to rest with the Lord. It's not just resting, but take a step, reflect back, and have time to pray like we are gathered here, to pray and to be united with the Lord. May the Lord inspire us during this Mass, that we may always be shepherds or leaders who unite and not the ones who scatter.